Hello comrades, yes it's me, I'm back again, a Yorkshireman now living in Wales. And today comrades I'm going to discuss the issue of free speech. I'm going to talk about my experience today with free speech and also give you some of my thoughts on it. I'll also share some correspondence I've had with the Welsh Government which in my eyes confirms our free speech is being restricted on social media. Now, before you all jump up and say we know, I don't know that because it's happened to me twice now, but I always like to have some evidence. A little bit of background though. Since I've been posting quite a lot on social media and I always try to use evidence, what I always find quite funny is the Welsh Government for some reason love saying they are the voice of the people. We represent your views, we listen to you. Yes. Well they don't. 500,000 people objected to 20 miles an hour. That was totally ignored, so they're not listening and they don't represent the views of 500,000 people. That's now an ongoing battle. There's also many other petitions which people want to put forward but have also been ignored. So this thing about it's our voice and the rest of it, that's just like good propaganda and it's quite catchy. That's all I'm going to say. It's catchy and for some people it's that little bit of a soundbite and they love it. Oh yes you are. Well I'm going to tell you they're not. It's as simple as that. So when it comes to my own experience of being sort of censored, in my own case it's because I've been shadow banned by Facebook. Now what that is everybody else can't see me post. I post and it's only me basically. A few people get to see it. Now the first question I asked myself was who's doing that? Would a social media company like Facebook do that themselves? The answer is no. Because someone like me who posts a lot, gets lots of clicks and the rest of it and comments, I create income for them because they can then do something with the data, sell it on and also sell advertisers because they can say we've got so many users. So that leaves us, as most people will know, with governments who will apply pressure. We saw that during lockdown. So let me take you to my experience. So I had a look at this post here and as you can see it was posted on the 7th of Feb and I looked at it a couple of days ago and according to this I've got 1 comment and 2 ticks. Now given the subject matter, which the Senate says no responsibility over immigration, right, that normally would get lots of views and comments on it. But no, I've got 1 comment and 2 views. The other thing which is quite ironical is how can I be a top contributor if that's all I'm getting? The second post is really the same. This time I've got 16 comments and 9. But I'm not a top man, I'm not a top bloke. So the question is why not? So we all know that I'm being censored. A lot of people get censored these days. I am a free speech advocate because once you go into the world of censorship, you're going into some sort of dictatorship and it's normally connected to socialist beliefs, sort of type of communist beliefs. Pick a version of that, whatever you want, and it always starts off with let's censor the working people because we don't like them because they must be stupid. Yes, that's where they will come from. So I then did, me being stupid, I managed to write a letter to the Welsh Government using this site here, whatdotheyknow.com, which I would recommend. And as you can see here, first blue arrow is the ATISN number, which if you go onto the site and type this number in, it should come up with my correspondence. And further down you can see my question is, in the last 12 months, how many times have you or a third party? Now I put third party because I love to use non-government organisations or third sectors or charities to do some of the work for them, of course all funded by us. Have you contacted Facebook or Meta, because again they love changing the words, on issues relating to restricting users' posts that are critical, should I say, of the Welsh Government? Their answer is the Welsh Government does not hold any information in relation to your request. Now to me that seems like a no, and I must have been having an off day, so I posted this and somebody else said well that's a non-answer, you need to ask them a better question. And I thought, God, yeah, you're dead right. I felt a bit numb to be honest, but anyway, so I got my act together and he sent this, and this is me updated question as you can see, and I go on to say however in your reply it is not clear. So are you saying no one or department, internal or external, with any links to the Welsh Government has contacted Facebook or Meta in any capacity? So that's a lot better question, isn't it? So I got a reply to that. Now the reply is what I'd call some sort of very cleverly worded sort of reply. Instead of just saying yes or no again, no, we have to go through this little bit of a dance. And I feel quite sure that whoever the employee or whoever sits in this department sends this off to somebody else, because it's not quite a straightforward reply as you'd think. So this is a reply. To clarify, we are not claiming that nobody in the Welsh Government has ever contacted Facebook. So I'll stop there. So we are not claiming that nobody in the Welsh Government right then, so somebody has contacted Facebook then. Then it goes on to say, on issues relating to restricting users' posts that are critical of the Welsh Government, we are simply saying we don't have any recorded information that they have. Right, now this brings up quite a number of issues here. So that says to me the Welsh Government are working in partnership with Facebook to restrict users' posts like myself and many other people. So that then says, well, who's paying for it? Well, I can tell you who pays for it, it's us. But they say they don't record it. So at that point, so who's authorising it? Because if you're authorising it, then you have to have a piece of paper and you have to have some sort of department structure in place, because you just have one person who's monitoring it all and doing this and doing that. It's impossible to do. So they must have a department, therefore they have to have a team leader, and then at that point they have to have an elected person in charge of it, or most likely an unelected civil servant who has got this and they're doing, oh yes, this is great. I'll wake up today and decide to restrict Mr. Cook's posts because I find him a little bit annoying, and don't forget he had a go at me and tried to catch me out or call me a liar. Yes, that would be me, sir. So it raises a load of questions. So why is none of that recorded? Now of course it means it's like some sort of off-site operation, but they've said that they're doing it but they don't record it. You see, it doesn't make any sense, does it? So if they don't have any records of it, then how do they organise anything? Is it like telepathy? So the person in charge of it, he thinks hard, somebody else in Facebook on the same wavelength picks it up and then it happens. No, that's not going to work, is it? Because you have to keep a record of what you've done, you have to have a list of people who you want to block, and at one time you might release them for a few days to think that everything's okay. So you have to gather data, a bit like the secret police would do, I suppose. And then at that point, so do they go into a pub somewhere? Is it like a bakery? Is it a coffee shop and they slide over a piece of paper? Maybe rice paper, and then they eat it afterwards. I don't know. My other concern is that literally we are entering into an election period. Now, no matter what you think about social media or anything like that, it might have a slight influence. Somebody might be on the edge of thinking, should I, shouldn't I? They might see something and then that just tips them in one direction. You don't know, do you? But as it is, we're then going to end up with what I'm going to call election interference. Now, is that really legal? I don't know. The only thing I do know is that we are having more and more restrictions placed on our free speech. And again, go back to the letter. Look what it says. Basically understand that's what's happening to us all. And we're not having a choice in it. I don't want to live in a country my free speech is getting further and further restricted. Because as a person who's been to quite a few countries where it's communist or socialist, I'll tell you something, it's not a pleasant thing to go into. You follow the rules and the rest of it, but step out of line and they will stomp on you really hard. I don't want that, I like free speech. So, comrades, you could, as I say, have a look at the letter, because I've not replied to it yet, because I'm still pondering what to do. And you could put the number in, find the letter, and you could even ask your own question and see if that applies a bit more pressure to get some answers out on it. Right, comrades, any ideas, please leave a comment with them, but because I am basically getting censored or shadow banned, please tick subscribe or leave a comment, because that just helps the other algorithms do something with it. Right, comrades, thank you for watching, hope everybody's okay, and catch you on the other side.